Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. How you doing, Sarah?
Good. I have a coffee here. I feel like we can do like a proper like coffee chat.
Oh, hold on. Let me get mine ready then. I've got my Biscayne coffee. We're ready to
go.
We're ready to rock.
Nice little plug right there. Well,
where are you coming from? That looks like a very fancy room.
Yeah, right. It's kind of nice here. I am at the Encore Boston. I spoke at the Triple Seat event. So our friends over at Triple Seat, they do event software, and it's been a great time so far. I spoke yesterday. Danny Meyer speaking today. So it's a really exciting room. Yeah, full of lots of cool hospitality people, but. So lucky that I get to stay in this beautiful suite. I have to say the Encore, I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise, but it's so wild because you walk in and it feels like you're in Las Vegas. Like it's so even the size and the layout. I walk in this room and I was like, wait, I feel like I've been in this room before. And I was like, oh yeah, in Las Vegas. So yeah.
I love the space. Like I'm looking at the lighting, just the attention to detail of the recessed lighting, the ambient lighting, the glow of it.
This is just the living room area. The bathroom is like, oh my gosh. The bathroom is like.
I'm a big fan of Steve Wynn. All of a sudden he starts showing up on my feeds of like all
his
advice
too.
And I've been like, man, that's great advice.
We must be on the same algorithm.
I think so. They know that we've been talking about Steve Wynn and all his hotels. It's always listening.
Yes, it is.
Very nice. And then you get to come down to Miami, which is going to be exciting. Hello, Lou from Charleston.
Hello.
And Paul Manzi, vacation viewing. Nice. Paul, where are you vacationing? I love to see anywhere fun.
I know.
But I'm hosting my first ever hospitality power breakfast. So I'm curious to see how it goes. Sarah's one of the guests there. We have 8 people around a great table at the Moore Membership Club. So a beautiful location. We have chefs, hoteliers, entrepreneurs, developers, designers, myself and Sarah somehow at the same table with all these great people.
Somehow.
But it will be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see where it goes. And if you're interested in being a part of it, we may take this around. Who knows? We'll see where this goes.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm going to come down and be there. This is exciting. It worked out.
I might have to make you the moderator. We'll see what happens.
At the last minute. Hey, by the way, could you help? Yeah, whatever.
You're going to have to keep the conversation going. Yes, it's going to be a fun time. A lot of fun stuff going on. But I guess we should get into our show. We have a lot of topics today to cover.
We do. But do you want to, do you have something to tell us before we get started?
I do, because this episode, honestly, is brought to you by StayFi. And StayFi helps short-term rental operators build direct guest relationships through branded Wi-Fi portals, email marketing, and guest data tools that turn one-time bookers into repeat guests. So start growing your direct booking revenue today at stayfi.com/good morning hospitality. And that's stayfi.com/good morning hospitality. Nice. Lou, I'll take it. I'm going to make a hat that says the Ad King.
Well, yes, you can. That is all you, sir. My ads are a little bit different. Anyway. Well, yeah, let's go ahead into this first topic here. So Labor Day travel is K-shaped. I love this. We're learning all about the alphabet. Oh, I've actually been there with that photo. And the middle is struggling. So what's going on? What does this mean beyond the headline? So 77% of Americans plan to travel this summer, which is up from 74% last year. Now, Bank of America is actually saying that K-shaped travel spending the gap has narrowed since May. So lower and middle income, I love this, households are actually increasing travel spending. But the interesting exception is lodging. So higher income households have pulled back somewhat on lodging spending growth. This is it. What do you think? I mean, there's a little bit more.
Look, it just shows again, people still want to travel. The middle is getting squeezed. That mid-tier, the middle class family isn't traveling as much, but it's saying lower income is looking for places that have good deals. The higher income is spending. But AAA put out a report this Monday of the top destinations for the 3-day weekend. Any guesses on the top 3 for the U.S.?
I mean, don't make me guess because we're looking at the same.
How about listeners? Do you want to guess the top 3 locations as I read them off? And they're interesting. One of them is very interesting that you may not expect, which is number 1, domestic, Seattle, Washington, is most people are going to. Number 2, Orlando, Florida. Of course, we got all the theme parks there. And then number 3, where you're at, is Boston, Massachusetts. That's the top 3 for the U.S. And international is Rome, Vancouver, and London for the international. And now 2 of them, I want to point out something unique. Lou, good guesses. New York's on there at number 5, and Las Vegas is number 8. But Seattle being number 1 and Vancouver number 2 international. The reason is a lot of people are going on
cruises,
Alaskan cruises, to be specific. So you can see more and more people are finding those deals on those cruises. They're looking for some adventure. They're looking for unique experience and heading up to the Northwest to go on cruises to Alaska, which I have not done and I really want to do.
This is the time of year. I was on a cruise in Alaska last year, actually right around this time. And a couple, maybe 2 years prior to that, also went to Alaska. So it's fantastic. This is definitely the time of year to do it. It's a great way for people to, quote unquote, sneak in that last minute travel. But there's also, again, as we've been talking about, generally with the idea of cruises, you know how much you're paying before you get there, and especially in this economy, you've got people that they don't necessarily want to have all of these extra expenses after they've already booked their trip. So it makes sense. It's a bucket list destination, as it should be, because it truly is like waking up in a postcard. And like, we are so lucky that we get to call that, part of the United States. So it's cool. It's great. I love it. Sorry, I got a little.
What? No, I love it. You got varied. So I've been on a lot of cruises, but only like, in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Why is it so much different for someone who doesn't know?
So, well, a lot of, definitely it's the ports. So, and you're doing different things in the ports. It's cooler weather. So you might be doing more like hikes, and you get to see cool things like, salmon farms, and then there are scenic cruising days, which you don't have in the Caribbean. So there might be a day that you're going through like Tracy Arm, you're going through Glacier Bay National Park and that area, and you don't get, the whole day is just spent like cruising so slowly, but you just go out either on your balcony or on different parts of the ship, and you just like get to take in the wonder. And they'll just kind of stop a ship, like have it turn around. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous.
All right, so I have to start saving up now. I'm gonna have to make it happen.
And you get that hot chocolate, like you get hot chocolate, you might have like a blanket, you can like hang out on your balcony and just, I mean, it really is unlike anything else. And it's cool without being, like freezing. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Well, the K-shape, they're heading up to the cruises. So if you're going up there, if you're one of them, send us some pictures. I'd love to see where you're going and get some inspiration for those trips. And Lou saying only Norwegian fjords cruises are more awesome than Alaska. I haven't done either.
I did that too. Also last summer, I did Norway first and then Alaska. I would say it's different because I wouldn't say to do one or the other, but yes, exactly. Lou is saying, seeing the deep blue color of a glacier caving, that blue is unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, it really is stunning. So yeah.
All right. I'm excited now. Now I'm going to start putting them away to make that happen.
We got Will in the back. He's like, I'm thinking about doing one next year. You should, Will. You absolutely should. So yeah. But again, it's interesting to see what people are choosing, understandably so, with limited budgets, people are being very specific in what they're choosing and how they're selecting their vacations.
There's one thing that kind of stood out is costs are climbing across the board for people. Gas is up 30% year over year. Domestic round trip fares are up 2% overall and 20% to the top destinations. So it's a lot. People are looking for unique places to travel to, and cruises make sense. You know what you're going to pay, and you get to enjoy the deep blue of those glaciers.
Yes. Well, definitely cool.
Should we move on?
Yes, I would love for you to take this too.
Before we move on, Sarah, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Built. They're helping restaurants and hotel food and beverage teams better understand their guests and create more personalized experiences that drive repeat visits. If you care about loyalty and guest experience, it's worth checking out. Head to joinbuilt.com/GMH. And that's joinbuilt.com/GMH. Got tongue tied on that one. Not the ad king. Gotta get back in the studio and practice.
Oh my gosh, gotta get those reps in. Anyway,
I know you're excited about this one, Sarah. You've been telling me for months.
Watermelon sugar.
Watermelon sugar high coming to NYC.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. So the Harry Styles effect. Events are becoming travel products pretty much. I mean, Harry Styles moving hotel markets in New York. This is kind of cool. So basically Harry Styles, he's got a New York residency, and it's driving hotel demand spikes in Manhattan that are comparable in scale to major sporting events. This is interesting. The demand pattern is actually what's unique about this. Fans aren't just booking the night of the show, understandably so, but they're booking 2 or 3 nights around it. By the way, isn't that what everybody was expecting to happen with FIFA? But because they made the prices so high, people were like, we're just going to go in for one night, whatever. Anyway, so thank you, Harry Styles, for showing the sporting world how it's done. I will step off my little soapbox right here.
Well, what was amazing is I think Bad Bunny set something very big for all these artists. Like they're doing residencies now. And so did you read how many shows he's doing? He's doing 30 shows in New York City. I had to reread that. I thought it was 30 shows for his whole tour. He's doing 30 shows.
30 shows over 2 months. So basically almost every other night.
Yeah. So he's going to be there putting on a show in New York City. And I'm excited to see if he can sell out at Madison Square Garden every single night. That's amazing.
And I will say this, because I've been traveling quite frequently to New York. And I scored the last 2 trips. I scored some pretty awesome deals. Like I was actually able to get decent hotels within, this is insane, within the $200 to $300 a night range. I mean, again, not necessarily super luxury, but perfectly fine, great elevated hotels. These same hotels, even in the middle of September and also October, those hotel rooms are easily starting at $600, $700, even $1,000 a night. So whether it's all Harry Styles, I mean, it is also now for New York City, the busiest time of year. It's their busiest tourist season. They've got a lot of conferences. So yeah, it's a big time.
Listen, I'm a fan of Harry Styles. I'm not sure what your favorite song is, Sarah. Do you have a favorite Harry Styles song? Or are you more of a One Direction Harry Styles like I am?
Oh, I mean, I like both. I definitely appreciate him. What is it? What is it? The sushi restaurant? What is it? That song? Oh my gosh! Don't make me look at my freaking Spotify right here. Yeah. You did. Wait, what's your favorite song?
Well, I like it. I like him. I like the One Direction. The best song ever was filmed in Miami Beach at one of my friends' places. So
which one?
I will give it that one. It's called The Best Song Ever.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, I apparently have 8 of his songs in my Spotify. So
true Harry Styles fan, right?
As It Was. I do like
As It Was is a good song.
Good one. Adore You is good. Oh, okay. I forgot.
Yeah, he was everywhere for all of 2024, and then it's been quiet.
Cinema, Daylight, Late Night Talking, Saddle. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big concert girl, so it would be rare for me to be like, oh, let's go. For me, I'm like, oh, let's go when it's an aging band. And I'm like, yo, we got to go see Elton John before we can't see Elton John anymore. We got to see Hall & Oates before. That's like what drives me. That being said, coming and experiencing this, like if it fell in my lap, I'd be like, yeah, I'm down. And I would really enjoy it.
The concert prices are crazy. Like there's certain people I would go see. I'm bummed out I didn't get to see I saw some Guns N' Roses touring again. Like, man, that voice is not good for Axl anymore. Like these guys have aged out. They partied too hard. But Coldplay was really cool to see. I got to see Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake when they went on their thing. Like it's hard for me to spend $1,000 on a ticket for a concert. I'm not that person yet. But there's a lot of people that are. The shows. They're doing 30 shows in New York City.
It's impressive. And actually thinking about this reminds me actually what we talked about yesterday. So I'm here and it's we're talking obviously about events and experiences, right? That's like a lot of what this conference is about, obviously from the tech side, but then, I'm coming in with the actual experience side of things. And there's been a lot of talk about people are spending more money on premium experiences. And what I specifically said yesterday, it's like, you have to remember, it's not just the event. People aren't just paying for the event. They're paying for the anticipation of the event ahead of time. They're paying for the connection and what they're actually having during the experience. And then the memories and the story that they get to take away from it afterwards. And so people are willing to spend that sort of money. And in this particular case, they kind of hit it right at the right price point. That's going to drive traffic. People are going to come there and they still feel comfortable that they can stay in New York City for a couple nights and go do all the other things. So I love this.
Yeah. So listeners, viewers, what band would you pay to go see if they were a residency in NYC? I'm curious to see the taste of music out there. Sarah and I come from the generation of TRL on MTV where there's a big mix of music.
There is.
So I'm curious to see what you all would go see. But listen, if you're going and you want to have some value to where you're staying, you could stay at a Generator hotel. That is our next story. How about you kick us off here?
Oh my gosh. So Generator's new CEO says premium at 40 pounds a bunk is not a contradiction. So Generator's new CEO is making a very specific case that the hostel segment, not hostile, but the hostel segment is not a budget category, but a design forward, experience rich. It could be experience rich alternative to expansive hotels for a specific traveler. So, and like his specific, right?
Yeah, like what they're doing is they're taking over like these mid-tier hotels. Like he brought it up. Like there was like a Novotel and some others in this, article. We have one Novotel here in Miami, but it's interesting. They take over like these mid-scale hotels that are like fully built up for upscale, but then they flip the model where instead of having one bed in a room, they're putting multiple bunk beds in the room, and they're charging, $40 per bed, and they're able to get more people in those rooms. So it makes the hotel more profitable and drive them to the F&B space and turn the pool deck into more of a fun experience. But he's targeting, I was like, I don't know if I would ever stay in that, but they're targeting 18 to 25 year olds, which makes sense. And, if I was with my fraternity brothers in college and we could find a nice place.
Yeah.
I go.
Well, but it's interesting because of, bless you, because of the experience, to kind of give you guys an idea that like real life, like competitive comp set is basically those sort of like mid-scale hotels that are like in really that have like great locations. So with like a strong bar program, community events. So think places like Moxie, Motto, Hoxton, and it's basically a similar, but for half the price. So
they're trying to do it less than half, right? Because if you can go and get yourself a bed for $40, like you're a tenth of the price of some of these places. So it'll be interesting, but they have something unique where they're looking at this train that's going through Europe, and they want to make sure they have a generator at every single stop is their goal. And so they're really looking to have a place that feels high end when you walk in. Right? They even said like the design. Why am I going to put these giant numbers on a door like they do in hostels if a hotel that's upscale doesn't have that? Let's look at all the things that an upscale hotel has, but we're just packing more people into a room to give them that experience and a taste for it, and then hopefully they grow with the brand. But I'm past that space, but I don't know. I don't know about you,
Have you ever stayed in a hostel, by the way?
I have not, but I lived in a fraternity house, which I'm pretty sure is similar-ish. But my room was like big time. Like, so yeah, the house was,
of course. I mean, we got big time Steve here, like
president of the largest fraternity at Florida State University. I had to make sure, right?
Got to bring all those girls back to somewhere.
Exactly right, and it had to be upscale, Sarah. But we would travel together, and we would all share rooms, and it would be, people packing into a room. So if I could get a nice hostel and get my own bed into a nice place, I would rather travel like that instead of some of the motels in Panama City that we stayed in. I want to go back and look at what those were. I don't even remember.
My gosh, because I did spring break in Panama City Beach too. So
I remember you were out of control.
Well, wait, you remember Club La Vila? Do you remember Club La Vila?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, we're going
That place
way
was
back.
gigantic. That place was
Yeah,
gigantic.
that was. Oh, I think I went there when I was 15. We don't need to talk about that. Anyway, but yeah, again, it's interesting because obviously they're talking about this as making it premium. I think it's a smart move because again, we may not be the actual like demographic to go stay in a hostel, but to be able to provide something that's a little bit more elevated. And it's almost like that bridging that gap between those that are going to pay for like a full hotel room but those who want something a little bit more than the basic hostel. So
yeah, I think they're going to do well
smart
with that market. When I understood that, I was like, yeah, I would have been someone doing that. I would
Yeah,
have traveled with my
100%.
friends if we were going. And Paul Manzi saying the 80s had hostels, which turned into shared spaces, Airbnb, coming full circle back to the hotel side of things.
Yeah. Speaking of, it's like he knew what our next topic was.
Paul was looking at our show notes.
Yeah. You ready?
Let's go.
Should we go into it? That sounded so good. All right. So speaking of, thanks, Paul, for that lovely transition for us. Wall Street is starting to believe Airbnb's hotel growth story. So this is kind of interesting. So they're kind of thinking like this acceleration is here to stay. There's been a lot of back and forth, with Airbnb going into the hotel space, and it's like, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Like, what's happening here? What's going on? But now they're kind of seeing that the current sort of revenue growth is actually kind of conservative, and like they're pushing
through. I mean, they grew a lot this quarter. Yeah. And so if you own the Airbnb stock like I do, which I've owned now for a couple of years, it's now just skyrocketing because Brian Chesky went on and said with the use of AI, they're now really driving more revenue than they ever have. Mm-hmm. The experience is becoming more unique for the users. Not only is it homes, now they're adding hotels. And if you book a hotel, then you get 15% discount to your next home stay. So it's going back and forth and feeding both channels. As some of you know that watch this, I have a management company. Airbnb is one of the channels we use. And I can tell you that their customer service has gotten much better for hosts, at least in my point of view. When we have issues and people trash the home with parties, we show them evidence. They do pay us back in a timely fashion the majority of times. They made things easier for the guests. This is what's really driving their growth is you can reserve now and pay later, which has seen a giant growth. So you can book things and not have to pay all up front at once.
Which is good.
Like you used to have to. And then they added experiences, which I haven't used any of them, but now they're looking really good. Like I might just use Airbnb to book an experience, whether it is a massage or a private chef or a tour or a photo shoot or all these things that are on there.
Do you know I was part of that launch program?
I did not know that.
I don't. Yeah.
Tell me.
Back in 2016, actually. So I was still working in hotels, but absolutely saw, the big, and this was obviously when Airbnb was first really kind of like blowing up, and you had all the hoteliers that were freaking out. They're like, oh, what's going to happen? And I was always on the side. I'm like, dude, it's just a bigger part of the pie. Like people, it's another way for people to stay in a city. But just because you're a hotel doesn't mean that you need to be worried, because you can also get revenue from other things. Maybe the guest doesn't stay with you, but they come to you for high tea or cocktails or whatever it is. Anyway, but when they were launching experiences, they actually, I was one of the first, I don't know, maybe 50 or less than that in Los Angeles. And we had a whole, like we kind of built out the program as far as like what the experience looks like. And we tried we tried to see, okay, could it be a 3-day experience and they pay a little bit more? Then do we try a 2-day experience? Do they just want to do a one-off? So it was actually really cool to be part of it, because like we were testing in real time what was actually working for guests. And as you might suspect, committing to 3 days, like on one experience, was a little bit much, even 2 days. So that's how you kind of have like the 1 day, one experience model, which is pretty understandable. But it was nice that they actually had that flexibility to test it out and see, like maybe people were interested in these longer term or longer options of doing things. So it was a very cool experience, and
that's very cool that you're a part of it. And I think for listeners, if you haven't been on their site in a while, I would encourage you to check it out.
Yeah,
just even if you're a hotelier, because the way they set things up now and they break things down and how they present it, they're making updates almost like weekly on how they are testing things. I'm getting things shown to me that are different. The back end, they're going to start adding more and more tech for hosts, which if you're a professional host like we are, we have a lot of those tools already, but they're trying to give individual hosts more of these things like pricing. That's not just flat rate. Like still so many people that just keep a same flat rate all the way across their entire year versus having what hotels do, which is,
the dynamic pricing. Yeah.
Every single day. So listen, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but if you had bought some stock 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, you made some good money in Airbnb. But keep an eye on them because I think they're going to continue to grow. I think their costs will continue to go down with technology and AI, and more people are going to be using them. So keep an eye out for Airbnb.
Very cool. All right. What do you want to do next here? We can go one of two ways, sir.
I think we jump right into whose brand is it anyway?
Love
it. Favorite part of our entire show.
Steve's favorite part. Let me just be very clear. Steve's favorite part.
Sarah waits for this every single week for us to play this game of whose brand is it anyway? Excited. Where we have the sub brand and we have to guess what parent brand owns this sub brand. Are you all ready? Because I know you have to wait a whole other week for this. So get your mind right. What is the sub brand this week? City Express.
What the heck? It looks like half of it's cut off.
I think so. They cut the logo off at the bottom. City Express by Sesame Street. That's what it looks like to me. I'm going. I don't know the parent brand that would have that. City Express by. All right, people, put it in here. I'm going IHG because I feel like it's a Holiday Inn type brand. I'm going IHG on this one. Oh, Manzi's with me. What do you got? Lou's got Hilton.
Yeah, what do I think is going on with this one? I'll say Best Western.
Best Western. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, let's see. Drum roll and the brand. Marriott. We were way off.
Wait, what?
Marriott City Express. Pull this website up.
What?
I'm learning new things every single week, everybody.
Same.
Lou, Paul, all of our loyal listeners, City Express by Marriott.
Oh, wow.
Places you in the heart of major cities in Mexico, Colombia, Chile, Brazil, and the U.S. So, yes, in unique stays. Very cool. Looks, again, kind of like the model we were talking about. You can stay in nice places at a lower price and be right in the middle of it all with City Express by Marriott.
Wow.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool. Fascinating.
Well, we learned a lot here today, Sarah.
We did.
What did you take away here most important from our show that we learned?
That I got to go see Harry Styles in the next 2 months. I mean, that's really what matters to me.
Yeah. And Pierre Jose says City by Marriott. Jose got it. Pierre, brand. It's their new brand. Everyone's on it. I didn't know about it. I
apparently did not get that memo, and I work with Marriott.
They didn't send it to us. I know. You better call your people over there.
They don't have me promoting it on TV.
Yeah. Pierre said lesser than select services. So,
okay.
Not much. But it's like almost like that hostel vibe. So get in there. But I want to go see this very beautiful deep blue color of the glaciers at some point in the next 12 to 24 months. I got to figure that out on my schedule. But we're going to make that happen. So, Sarah, it was a great show. We talked about a lot of things. Listeners and viewers, we always appreciate you watching. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe so you're always on point with what we have going on. And if you haven't yet, make sure to send this episode to one of your friends. Let them know all the fun comments you've been putting on here, and they can join the conversation as well. So until next week, Sarah.
What you gonna do?
Stay hospitable.